If anyone is out there believing their religion is the answer to everything, I just watched a really good movie called Casino Jack. It'll show you who you are. And, I'm making this claim religion is destroying the planet. If this is the biggest challenge humanity is facing right now. We haven't got a hope in hell if anybody that's believing in any form of religion doesn't wake up that their religion is destroying the planet. My observation is they're creating an Armageddon. They're all suicidal. They all believe that, they're going to be saved. The Bible, a lot of people aren't really seeing the connections, but that Bible really appears to be one hell of a very evil document, and in the name of God. And it's like Satan is so friggin' creative to use stuff. God's not part of the material world, but yet a material world is how you connect with God. It makes no logic sense. That Satan is the material world. Satan, is the temptation within the material world. So anything that is within the material world that connects you with God is like you're following friggin' Satan. And this is a show about lobbyists. It's based on a true story, true events. And they were a group of, you can see within government, within corporations, that it's all religion. It's Jews and Catholics working together, and you can, they have in the Bible that says you can tell right from wrong by the fruits. And the way you judge your fruit is by how big your bank account is. If, God provided you with more than enough, then you think you're following God's way. But you also know that Satan is temptation, so the level of your bank account is dictating whether you are evil or not. If you have more than everybody else, you're freaking following Satan. You know, God provides. I have everything that I need. It's not excessive. I haven't sold my soul, but the fruit of my actions are everything I need I get to attract. God provides me with every single thing that I need. I don't need to have an excess. And that kind of behavior was introduced to me by my family had gone through the depression, and listening to the words in their mentality, they're like, you need to save for a rainy day because that might happen again. And they don't realize that saving for a rainy day ends up putting all of the money in a bank account, saving it where it's not in any form of circulation in a healthy way. So you're creating your own friggin' depression and you don't realize it, out of fear of, I don't want that to happen again. Um, there's so much insanity. I also was a foster mom, and this kid used to hoard food. Saving money and hoarding food, is the same type of behavior. You're worried about tomorrow, and yet God provides. So why is it you have to have an excessive bank account, which in order for you to have that access, you actually have to destroy other human beings. You have to sin, you have to kill, but you're not seeing the connections of your actions. You just see your one actions, but there's a chain, a domino that actually ends up killing somebody, but you don't know it. And this documentary, or not documentary, film, I'll put a link below, give you a really good insight as to the mentality going on. And this is everywhere. This is what's sustaining every single thing that's wrong. And the guy is like the fall guy. He ends up being the one that gets caught, but as there's apparently a Senate committee that's going to judge his behaviors to be the wrong one, and it's like, wait a minute. Every one of you are guilty of the same thing. Everyone that's judging him to be doing something wrong is guilty of the same freaking crime. So it's like calling the kettle black and thinking you're going to find a solution. And you can really see it ain't the elites doing it, it's religion. It's, you know, you want to break, and gain power over these elites, get rid of your religion. There is a God. I just connect with God in a loving way, not through hate, but through a loving way, and not through a material world, not through a book. And, I don't think that I'm an evil person, although Christians will call me, a witch and everything else. But it's like, how am I a witch? Exactly how am I doing harm to other people? What is it that I'm doing that's so evil that gets all of the negative labels that any religion would say? I don't think I'm doing anything wrong just because I'm watching and observing a behavior and saying, hey, maybe you should question it. I don't think that that's a wrong thing. I think I should be entitled to an opinion just like anybody else is entitled to an opinion. If I'm wrong, prove me. Don't call me a witch and say that's the proof, just opening up the conversation. But, just because I've observed some pretty wild behaviors and can now talk about it doesn't mean that, I should be on medication and I'm crazy or a witch or, why am I crazy? Well, part of this is crazy. How is this doesn't make any sense? I mean, it is your own friggin' logic, God provides. So if God provides, why do you need to worry about a rainy day? Let's look at your bank account. If you are religious and your bank account's kind of high, how are you making your money? Who's being harmed by the way you earn your money? Are you willing to go to the level of poverty as everyone else that lives in poverty, or do you feel like you need to be better than everybody else? And God rewards. It's Satan that does the rewarding, not God. God just is. You can tell by what it is that you attract in your life. And I attract everything I need. I don't need an excess. I would reject excess. And that is not... I just can't be tempted by evil. I see how wrong it is. So it has nothing to do with, religion has so many different labels. Oh, you got a fear of success, or, there's so many different excuses of why I would be judged to be wrong, but it's like, that's just an opinion, According to your own rules, Satan rewards with profit. You've sold your soul if you have more money than the guy at the bottom. And to judge somebody at the bottom wants to be there, yeah, like you would want to be there. I don't know any human on the planet that would choose to live in poverty. It doesn't make any sense at all that somebody would choose to live in poverty. It only makes more sense that if poverty is the more loving way, it doesn't do any harm to other people, it's like to be a killer. Do you want to be a killer? Take the money. You want to be a loving being? Don't take the money. The concept of willing to live in poverty is an acknowledgement that you're not going to sell your soul and there is another way. All of the economic system, all of the material world is you disconnecting yourself from a God. So it's like to choose poverty is like to accept God and God's ways with, out of the material world. And, I would love to eat better. I would love to have transportation. I would love, love, love to have an awful lot more stuff in my life. But not at the cost of causing harm to other people. And I do believe there are ways of letting everybody benefit so much more than on a poverty level. But it's like you have to be willing to, to make that shift, you have to be willing to take that poverty path. And once, an entire globe gets on the right page, then we lift our standard of living when we make sure everybody's standard of living has equal opportunity. And that's basically what it's all about, is check it out. Anybody that's trying to struggle today to make a living, aren't you lacking a little bit of opportunity? And evil always takes away opportunity. It will tempt you with top opportunity and then take it away. And then you'll find out that you can't get anywhere without that opportunity. So it's humans taking away opportunity for other human beings to be able to uplift their level of poverty. And the only way that you can uplift your level right now is by taking advantage of somebody else. And I'm just not willing to do that. I would like it to be a supporting thing, that I will support you and raise you up, and you help support me and raise me up. To me, that sounds more godly than Satan. And if it means that I choose poverty, I choose poverty for a better reason. It's not like I like living the lifestyle. I just think it's a much better, healthier way to live. And I would like to up my standard of living, but I'm waiting for the rest of the world to want to be on the same page as me. When we all get on the same page, all of our standards of living goes up. And not because we're tied to a material world, because it's more of, you are a creator and you can create anything you friggin' want. But as a globe working together, the standard of living we can create for all has the potential to be a lot more outstanding than what we've got now. If you think boats and cars are good, it does get a lot better than what we think it is, but you just can't comprehend that yet because you're tied to stuff. And the only way you get your stuff is by doing harm to somebody else. So you can't even comprehend something different because you just don't understand it. You think this is the only way, but it's not. There's endless possibilities. You just have to want to see it. Peace out.